Hi, good morning. Welcome back to my channel, Whispers in the Moonlight. I am here by the lake again, and I'm going to do another short walk. Um, and it's a bit cloudy, so not sure if there's rain coming soon. Hopefully there is. We really need it. I think we're in a drought here in South Central Utah. And I think today I would like to talk about dreams. Now, I know that people don't always dream, but I always thought that people dream a lot because I've always had dreams and I have multiple dreams in one night. Some I can remember and some I don't always remember. And some of these dreams I know what it was about, but when I wake up, I forget it. But then there is that lingering knowing that I know what I dreamt about, but maybe the message wasn't meant for me to remember, right? So just things like that. So we'll start our walk. Here's the lake. All right, let's go. And as usual, I always forget my tripod. Story of my life. I always want to carry my phone and my tripod so my hands don't get tired. Sometimes I have to switch hands as I'm walking and talking. All right, looks like there's someone walking with all her dogs. Okay, for a minute there, I thought the dogs were alone. Okay, it's a nice little breeze coming in. It's supposed to get up to maybe 70. So it's going to be really warm today. Okay, there's someone fishing down there again. So they've been down there pretty much every day. Okay, I think we'll walk to the right, go as far as we can and come back. See how the water glistens? I absolutely love that. The energy from it is wonderful. Really nice. That's what I like. Okay, zoom back out. So how's everyone doing this week? I hope you're all having a good week. If you're facing some storms or not so pleasant things going on, I understand. I've been there. I don't have a perfect life. I've gone through a lot of stuff in my life, believe it or not. But somehow I've made it through, always have. One thing that I've learned about myself is that I remain positive. And how do I do that? I think a lot of it was taught to me by my father. See, my dad was in the war during World War II out in Japan. And he used to tell me that he kept in his mind that he was going to make it home, that he was being protected. He had such a positive, strong outlook on life. And he shared it with me and pretty much embedded that in me so that I always think that way and put that in my mind as well. So let's talk about dreams. I have so many dreams in one night. Almost every night I dream. It's rare I do not have a dream at all. I've been like this as far as I can remember. Now, as a child, I probably had dreams. I just don't really remember them. I have no idea. But I've been having some vivid dreams since I was maybe 13 years old, as far back as I can remember. And oh, I didn't check to see what time I started walking. I usually time, okay, there, I got it. All right. These dreams I've had recently have been about people who can do shape-shifting or magic, but today I want to talk about something else. I've had dreams of Jesus Christ. Now, I've never been really religious. Yeah, I've gone to church a couple times when I was in boarding school, and I did that just so I can get out of the dormitory. I didn't do it to gain understanding of religion. Mostly so I won't be bored in the dorm. And Sunday was a great time to leave the dorm without no restrictions and go hop church to church. So I went to all the church meetings. Every Sunday I would hop to a new church. So I spent time doing that on Sundays, and it was great. And I didn't always do it every Sunday. There's some Sundays where I just wanted to, hang out, go walk, maybe do crafting if there was crafting going on that morning, something different. But I must say I was never really a religious person, but I've had dreams of Jesus Christ. Okay, so one of the dreams I had, the earliest dream I can remember is that I was 17 years old. I was living in Montana, and one night I dreamt of him coming back to earth, of Jesus returning to earth. And most Bible stories call it the rapture or the return of Jesus in the end times. This dream was almost real to me. Like, I felt like it really happened. It was very vivid, emotional. And in my dream, I am walking, it looks like in a campus or a city, maybe a college campus or a city, somewhere where there's a lot of people. And I'm walking, and all of a sudden, just out of the blue, people start rising into the air, one at a time. And then I went up, and as I'm rising off the ground, I start looking down, and I saw a lot of people crying and screaming, "Please take me, please take me, please." They were begging, and I felt so sad for them. And I just looked down, and I knew what was happening. I said, this is the end. Jesus said he would come back for those who believe in him, that we would be taken up into the sky with him. I remember that from one of my Bible readings. And I just felt so bad for the people that were still on the ground. I mean, there were all kinds of people that didn't look evil or bad were left behind. And as I'm looking down, I feel bad because I can't help them. But then I start to look up. I said, where are we going? I said that to myself. I looked up to the sky, up like that. I looked up and I saw the image of Jesus Christ. And I only saw him from the waist up. And he was looking down, he had his arms out, he had his arms spread out like saying, "Come to me." And he was looking down at us, and we were all floating up to him. That was the image I saw. And as I saw that, I felt none but the purest love that I can't even put into words by just looking at him. And I knew Jesus Christ wanted us to go home with him, to all his believers. And as I'm looking at him, I was so overwhelmed with love and happiness, so beyond overwhelmed, like I could not even handle the emotions I felt at that moment. And tears started coming down my face. All these tears, I was crying for joy, for so much happiness and joy that Jesus was going to protect me and take me with him. And I was crying, and I was going up to him. And that is where I woke up. When I woke up, I immediately felt my pillow was wet, like really soaking wet, guys. And I was like, what in the world? I really cried so hard that I wet my pillow. I drenched my pillow from tears. My pillow was so wet. And I knew right there, this was an extremely spiritual and like a premonition type of dream. I don't know the exact words to put on the description of this dream. It was beyond beautiful, spiritual. I will say spiritual to the extreme. Like a revelation was given to me. And to this day, I've never forgotten this dream. Look at all the pine needles. Now, some Native Americans make baskets out of those pine needles. Beautiful baskets they make. There's a stream right there. Beautiful little stream. I hear voices on the trail over there. So I think there are people out walking with their kids. So I just found out yesterday that I won't be working on Thursdays. And to be honest, I wish it was Saturday. So that way I have 2 days off together, Saturday and Sunday. So that's fine. It gives me some time to do things I need to catch up on. I actually need to send some packages out and some postcards. I need to write a letter to a family member, send that out, and then I need to print the new car insurance card because the current one I have is expired in the car. I didn't realize that till the other day, so I do have to print a new one. We're not on the mailing list to get it in the mail. I wish we did, so I wouldn't have to run to the post office. I wish I had a regular mailing to get it in the mail. But I think my husband set it up to where we only get e-notices by email. These trees will bloom beautiful autumn colors when autumn comes around. All around here. And this is the melting snow coming off the Abajo Mountains. Let me know in the comments if you've ever had a dream of Jesus Christ or angels or God. I've had 2 more dreams that are related to Jesus Christ and angels. So let's talk about the second dream I had about Jesus Christ. Look at that view. So beautiful. If I was a painter, I could sit here with my canvas and paints and just paint that scenery. But I don't have the gift of seeing something and painting it. That's beautiful. Okay. All right, so the second dream I had about Jesus Christ was when I'm an adult. I was about, I would say I had to be in my 40s. Somewhere in my 40s. I'll have to look to my journal to see if I wrote it down, because I do write down my dreams. And find out when I had that dream. What age was I? So, oh, so pretty here. We might just make it to that bench and sit down. So pretty. I absolutely love nature, guys. I hear the crickets. All these dead trees you see all over this hill. All these trees will be beautiful autumn colors when it starts. And gold and orange and brown and green, just magnificent. There used to be a stream coming through here. It is dried up. Okay. Let's go across. Just taking in the beauty of the area. I'm just in awe and admiring it. In love with nature. So I don't hear the voices of the kids no more. I don't know if they went further down or... Okay. All right. Let me gather my thoughts about the next dream I had of Jesus Christ. Okay, here we go. The next dream I had of Jesus. I am in a different world in this dream. I think I'm in Jerusalem, where Jesus Christ was crucified. I am actually there in that era. I know because when I see the people around me, everyone's wearing robes, very ancient looking clothing and sandals. Very ancient times, and I'm there. And I'm so amazed that I'm there, that I don't even know what to say. I don't even know if I'm wearing the clothes that they're wearing. All I know is I'm there. And I'm walking along a path like this, and there are a lot of people walking. And it looks kind of overcast like now, like skies look dark like that as I'm walking. And I'm looking at all these people, and I'm thinking, where am I? I know I'm in ancient times. Because in my dreams, guys, I do go to different centuries. In my dreams, I can be in the present, or I can go way, way back in ancient days. So I can be in different places too. Like I know I'm not in the USA. I feel like I'm in a different country. Or I can be on the ocean on a ship, or I can be wandering around in a huge castle that belongs to me. So my dreams take me everywhere. Back to the story. I'm in this, looks like a village area, down the path like this that I'm walking on right now, with all these ancient people from Bible times. I can tell, roaming around, walking around. And there's a lot of commotion going on up ahead as I'm walking. People yelling and screaming. And I'm thinking, what is going on? And I'm walking up to it. As I'm walking up to it, they're on the path. Like just right here. There on the path is a skinny man laying down. And his clothes are torn. His robe that he was wearing is torn. People are spitting on him and kicking him. And he's in pain. He's laying there on the ground. And I feel such emotion for him. Like, how dare they do this to this innocent man, And without thinking, I ran up to him. And I pick him up. I pick him up in my arms and I start walking with him. I don't know where I'm taking him. I'm just carrying him. And along the path, there's a fence. It looks like a fence. And I'm just walking along the fence with him on this path. And as I'm carrying him, he starts talking to me. As he's talking to me, I don't recognize him at first. I don't know who he is. And he starts talking to me and he says to me, remember this about me. Remember to tell people out there that they can be healed even though they are completely broken. Remember to tell them that I can heal bones. I can heal people even though they are completely broken. Remember to tell people that. And as he's saying that, I'm looking at him and I finally realized who was speaking to me. It was Jesus Christ himself. I was carrying him and he's talking to me. And I realized who he is. I said, Jesus. I said that to him. And as soon as I said that, he healed himself as I'm carrying him. He healed himself from all the bruises and cuts, the wounds that the people gave him. He healed right before my eyes and he became whole. He became healthy and strong. He was not bony no more. He was a strong man. And he just kind of slid out of my arms because he became so healthy and strong right before my eyes. And he started walking, and I just stood there. Oh my gosh. I got scared. I thought that was a snake. That's a stick. Okay. We actually need to move this stick off the trail because it's going to freak someone else out. And I don't want anyone getting a heart attack. That's just a stick. So, as I watched him, I was in shock, total disbelief. I was in awe of him as he just walked away towards his place where he's going to be persecuted. He walked that way. He became whole. His robe became white as snow. He became strong and healthy looking as he was walking away. But he started to change while he was in my arms as I was looking at him. At first, I didn't know it was Jesus Christ when I picked him up. I had no idea. We'll walk up to here and turn around. Look at those beautiful mountains. Ugh. I love mountains and lakes. So that was the second dream I had of Jesus Christ. And I don't know why I was given these dreams, but the second dream I had, when I woke up from that dream, I was in shock, real shock. Like, I just dreamt, Jesus, I dreamt I was at his persecution. I was there. I saw the people. I saw them, kicking him, spitting on him. And I picked him up. Like no one would go to him and help him. But I went to him and I picked him up. And he told me to tell everyone that if they are broken, he can heal them. And if that's the message in this dream that I'm supposed to tell everyone, then that is what I say now, is that Jesus Christ told me in my dream, that he can heal anyone who was broken. You may have a completely broken body in every way, mentally, spiritually, physically, but he can heal you. So I have told my husband about these dreams. I have told very few people about these dreams I've had about Jesus Christ. And like I said, I'm not religious. I do believe in God. The Holy Spirit exists. I believe Jesus Christ exists. And those are the two awesome, amazing dreams I had of Jesus Christ. I have dreamed of angels once, but it's not the loving angels that we are taught about. These angels I dreamt of were death angels. And we'll save that story for another day. Because it's not a pleasant one. All I can say is they were death angels. And they came into our world. All right, guys. Let me know if you like these stories of my dreams of Jesus Christ. I don't know what they meant. I don't know if they were revelations given to me. But not too long ago, I met some people who had lost a loved one. I think a very close family member. I don't know if it was their son. I can't remember. But this lady talked to me and she told me, and I'm a stranger. I'm a stranger to her, and she told me that her husband was grieving deeply for the child they lost, who was a grown adult. The child was a grown adult. And immediately I remember what Jesus told me. And I told her, I said, you know what? I had a dream one time about Jesus Christ. And in my dream, I was at his persecution. And he spoke to me there and told me that he will heal anyone that is broken. That this is what Jesus Christ can do for them. And Jesus didn't say in my dream, you have to believe him or pray to him. He didn't say that. He just basically said, tell people I can heal a person who is completely broken. Tell them, he said that. So that's what I told her. And she was so touched by what I said. Her voice trembled and she said to me, oh my gosh, thank you for telling me this. I needed to hear this. I'm going to tell my husband to remember this. And I know it will help him. And she said, thank you so much. And that was it. So, yeah. My dreams were quite unique. All right, guys, we're almost back to the beginning of our walk. So we'll get back, give you the view of what was behind us as we're walking the other way. I believe there is life after death. I know people believe so many different things. My opinion is we move on to the spirit realm. And in the spirit realm, we learn more about spirituality. And the more we learn, the more we're able to help others on earth, that we can help them in some way. There's a whole new amazing life that we cannot even imagine, that our human brains cannot even imagine what that new life in the spirit world is going to be like. And that is one of the reasons why I think we do not hear back from loved ones when they pass away. They go into that spirit realm and they get a new name, a new title for their next life. And that's why we don't hear from them no more. If we do hear from them, they've taken on a special role to help us transition when our time comes. So they're hanging around and waiting for that time when they can help us in that way. So that's what I believe. It's just my own opinion. Okay. Do you guys feel energies? I do. I feel energies. Sometimes I can pick up on them out in the open like this. And I felt some odd just behind those trees right now, back there. I was going to stand on the little bridge and look at the water, but I decided not to. So I'm very sensitive to energies. Okay. That was kind of strange why I felt that. I can feel things and I never know why. The energy I felt was a peeping Tom. That's what I felt. That someone's hiding in the shrubs and looking. And it could be all in my mind, or it could be an animal, or it could be a person. I don't know. I feel things when I go walking, and I know when I'm safe, and when I feel something foreboding, I'll turn around. So my walk is done. Hopefully I'll do another walk later today. I got some things to do at home. I wish I can do a video inside my apartment, talking to you all. But my husband works in the main living room. We have a tiny 2-bedroom apartment, guys. And he works in the main living room. And my room is always messy. It's congested and so tiny in there. I mean, sometime I need to do a video inside. But look at this view. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The moon is probably way up behind these clouds somewhere. I remember as a kid, me and my sister would lay on the grass outside when we're playing in the park and just look at all the clouds, and we describe what shapes we see and laugh and giggle. I see Miss Piggy. Oh, I see Kermit the Frog. Look, there's Cookie Monster. You know, things like that. Cookie Monster was so funny. He says, mom. Mom. Cookie. He's funny. And the other one I used to like was Fozzie the Bear. I thought Fozzie the Bear was just so cute. I could just squeeze him. You know, the things you remember as a child, the shows you watch, and those Muppets were great. The Sesame Street Muppets were so fun to watch and make you feel loved and cared for by these Muppets who just make you laugh and try to teach you things with letters and alphabets, numbers and colors and shapes. I remember as a small child, I watched this really funny, I think it was a Halloween cartoon on TV, and I'll have to try and find it. I don't know the name of it, but it was about a pumpkin, a guy who had a pumpkin head. And this I watched back in the 70s. And as a little kid, I remember telling these adults about this pumpkin head guy. And I was telling them how funny it was and what happened in the movie. And I remember the adults were just beaming with huge smiles, looking at me as I was telling the story. I was probably cute kid with no front teeth telling that story. Who knows? I do remember losing my 2 front teeth when I was 6, and it was probably at that age I was telling that story. So every time I smile, you'll notice my 2 missing front teeth, my baby teeth. And I remember when Christmas came around, I was singing that song, all I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth, my 2 front teeth, my 2 front teeth. And then you try to whistle. I remember singing that and making my sister laugh. I have siblings that are way older than me, so I feel out of touch with them. My siblings are 10 and 15 years older than me. Because of my parents' arranged marriage, they had a huge age gap, and the kids they had. The closest sibling to my age was my sister, one of my sisters, and she is 2 years older than me. And I remember sharing more memories with her than my other siblings. So I didn't really play games with my brothers and my older sister. They were all teenagers at that point. They didn't want to play games with little kids. But I got to listen to awesome, cool rock and roll music they liked back in the 70s. I got to see the fashion of the teenagers at that time by what they wore. And they took me to some really fun Bruce Lee movies and stuff way back then. I'm so glad you guys got to join me on my walk. There's the lake. It's always so good to move your body. Every day, move your body. Even if you don't have a place to walk. Do some walking videos in your room, in your home. Stretching. It's so important to move your body every day. Keep your joints healthy, blood flowing through your entire body. You're giving oxygen to your blood and your brain. Oh, that was a big grasshopper. And you keep this up, and you'll prevent a lot of problems in your health. You'll prevent diabetes, prevent Alzheimer's, prevent obesity, prevent breathing problems, prevent high blood pressure. Just move your body every day. There's the mountains. Alright, I'll leave this view. Sorry this is such a long video. I didn't realize it's going to take over 47 minutes now. Jeez. Alright, get back in touch with you later. Again, wishing you that you'll have a shower of blessings upon you day and night wherever you are. Bye, friends.